Hey everyone, it's Angie Coley, and today I wanted to continue along the thread that we've been exploring, which has been a little bit touchy-feely over the last couple weeks, but I promise that this is a critical piece of your journey as an entrepreneur, because one of the biggest, I don't want to say mistakes, but it's really easy to get caught in this trap of bringing your employee experience of using the filter of having worked a job and the expertise that you gained in that job and applying it to running a business. And they're really two separate and distinct skill sets. And if you apply employee mindset to entrepreneurial endeavors, that's when you fall into a real danger zone, because a business owner has to learn how to think differently. There are processes in place that an employer takes care of for an employee so that they can focus on that skill that they're really good at. And then as a business owner, you kind of have to wear all of those hats and be the expert. So what does that have to do with today and the kind of emo track that we've been following the last couple weeks? Well, first of all, you are the prize racehorse when you run your own business. So it's up to you to take care of you. You are the asset. Without you, the business doesn't run, at least not until you've intentionally, deliberately built it to a level where the business can run without you. But that takes a lot of upfront effort, a lot of work. And that's why, if owning a business was easy, everybody would do it. But it's not. So one of the things that I like to tell my students to do when I'm coaching entrepreneurs is to start a kudos file, and you could call it whatever you want. Praise, testimonials, unsolicited comments, happiness in a folder, whatever you want to name it. I call it a kudos file because I learned that from somebody that called it a kudos file and the name just kind of stuck. But what it is literally a file on my folder that is pinned so that I can access it very easily. And every time I get a testimonial, a comment, a compliment, someone saying that I've done something outrageous, anybody that goes out of their way to say something nice to me, whether it's a tiny little sentence or it's paragraphs talking about the good work that I've done, I take a screenshot and I put it in a folder. And the reason why I do this is simple but powerful. Being an entrepreneur, especially in this, COVID era that we're in, can be a very lonely gig. And I say that because you're largely at home. Maybe, you're going out to a beach or doing something fun like that, but this is largely you sitting in your office or with your computer, wherever you work, and imagining something into life. And a lot of people that are stuck in that employee mindset of I have this list of tasks to do, and when I do them, I'm done for the day, don't necessarily understand the almost obsession that comes with entrepreneurship. You're thinking about these problems 24 hours a day. Because if you don't, no one else is thinking about them for you, and nobody's there to keep those wheels turning and keep the income coming in. So it's a lonely job. Sometimes if you have a difficult client, if you have a string of setbacks, if people are mean to you on the internet, we tell ourselves to not take it personally and to not feed the trolls, but sometimes it gets to you because it's easier for these people to sling mud at you from the stands when they're not doing anything. That old Teddy Roosevelt's quote about, they boo the person that is in the arena doing the work, but they haven't done it. So there's going to be hard days, and as much as I've talked in the past videos about surrounding yourself with a community, making sure that you get to know other entrepreneurs, other business owners, so that you've got that support system, the support system won't always be there. And again, I don't say that to scare you, but people get busy, they have crises of their own. Last week I had a hurricane come through. Maybe you can't actually get a hold of anybody right now. So there are going to be times where you're going to have to be your own best cheerleader and get yourself out of a mental funk as best you can. Remind yourself who you are, because the more time you spend in here without talking to anybody else, without any outside perspective or feedback on what you do, the more your perspective of what you do and the value you deliver to the world gets warped. And since we're so harsh on ourselves, we're judging ourselves constantly, that I've found is the downfall of entrepreneurs at even more rapid of a rate than making a mistake or having a promotion that bombs. It's like, if this isn't firing on all cylinders, then business is in danger. So you've got to take care of yourself, even if you're facing a challenge, if you're facing a crisis like COVID. So that's why I like to put together this kudos file. It's got screenshots from the last 10 years, and sometimes it's like, Angie, you rock. And sometimes it's a love letter, for lack of a better term, from someone that I coach that's like, before I was stuck and now I feel this clarity in it. So the important thing here is to deliberately balance the scales and to get out of your own head when you're feeling stuck. So however you want to do it, Evernote, Google Drive come to mind, a folder on your own computer, but start getting in the habit of every time someone leaves you a comment, try to train yourself, instead of being like, oh, that's nice, and just moving on with your day. Try to set that little seed in your brain of, okay, I'm going to grab a screenshot of that and I'm going to save it real quick before you move on. After a while, you'll find that it becomes habit. When you get a nice little love note, you'll be like, oop, kudos file with that. It makes a difference, I promise. Remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself the good in the world that you're doing. Remind yourself of the people that you help who love you, because that's what's really going to get you through a rough day. So I'm Angie Coley, and if you got some value out of this, man, share it. Share the love. Tell everybody you know about a kudos file. I'm on a mission to spread that positive energy throughout the world, and I think, frankly, we could all use not even periodic, but like constant reminders that we're doing our best, we're doing a good job. There's always room for improvement, but that shouldn't stop the good work that we're doing right now. So share it. Leave me a like or a comment, subscribe to the channel, and let's go kick some ass.